Hi, welcome to the Motion Picture Notion. I'm your host, Gabriel Burton. So this is for my buddy Matt. His YouTube channel is the Awesome Lorenzo Bros. And essentially what my channel is to film, his is to collecting cards. Usually wrestling, he does like a lot of unboxings and stuff like that, but he also seems to have a great knowledge of like sports cards and stuff like that. So if you guys are into that, or if you know anybody who has any questions, he's actually very knowledgeable. Really cool channel, highly recommend. All 43 of my followers should definitely check this guy out. Anyway, Matt, this is for you. So I finally watched Cube. I bought Cube, Cube 2 Hypercube, and Cube 0 on Google Play, and my intention is to watch and review all three of them within this Halloween special that I'm doing. So I finally watched the first Cube. I had seen the very opening, like way back in the day, like back in high school, where the dude gets like cut into just like ribbons, and I was sort of like, oh, dude, holy shit, that's really cool. And amidst all this, Matt recommending me watch it, doing a review on it, I watched a Ryan Hollinger video, and he went through kind of like the way it's set up with the characters, how like they all represent a very particular archetype, but then that archetype kind of like breaks up. Basically, the false front dissolves, and you see who they really are as they go through this maze. Story-wise, it's really cool. I'm gonna say that right off the bat, the acting is pretty freaking bad. It's a low-budget Canadian horror film. It's kind of a science fiction. It's a sci-fi horror, but it's very Canadian. And some of the acting is not great, but like in the best way. The guy who plays the cop, his acting is so like over the top, and everybody has like such a melodramatic reaction to everything that it's like very thoroughly entertaining. Now that's not to detract from the movie or its concept. It is very creative and cool. Even at the end, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but even at the end, it's like you don't fully understand exactly what it is or what the situation is. They hint to it in certain parts, but like could be aliens, could be the government, could be a lot of many different things. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they picked up a few cues for the Saw movies from this, because it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, like figuring out the puzzles and the death traps and shit like that. I'm not gonna lie, I think that this movie might have been done on pretty much one set, because all of the rooms in the Cube pretty much look the same. It's just there's like a different color tone. So I mean, if they were actually able to film like 95% of this movie in one room, bravo to them. That's really freaking cool. It's low budget. It's obviously low budget. It has the feel of like a Sci-Fi Pictures original film, but not like one of the crappy ones, like one of the better Sci-Fi Pictures originals. The ones where you watch it and you're like, okay, you know what? It's clear this had a low budget and not everything works, but it's still a lot of fun and pretty damn intriguing. I was actually kind of surprised at how gory it wasn't. There was some violence towards the end, but there were only like really two like gory scenes in the entire movie, and I was sort of like, wow, I'm shocked at that. But yeah, it's very twisty and turny, and the reason why all the people come together, a lot of it involves mathematics, but there's sort of a group effort to get from place to place in the cube without getting killed, and a lot of it is based around mathematics, which is essentially like pig Latin to me, but still, it was just kind of cool to see they all had a purpose there. In terms of like the character study element, I guess you could say that a similar idea could also be the 2010 film Devil, about the people who are trapped in the elevator and like one of them is the devil. It's that same kind of basic idea, like what Ryan Hollinger said about like, the archetypes and things unfolding maybe not the way you would expect them to. Yeah, cheesy acting, simple enough set, but effective. I mean, they made use of whatever budget they had, and that's very impressive. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that Cube 2 is gonna have like a slightly bigger budget. I don't know that. I'm actually also kind of interested to see what they're gonna do in it, because again, they didn't really give you much about like the cube or what it is or where it comes from. I mean, you have some ideas of how it was designed, but you still don't really know for who or to what end or where it is anything like that. So I would imagine, I mean, my guess would be that in Cube 2, they would kind of build off of that, like, you know, take it a little bit further. I've heard Cube Zero is hot garbage, but you know what? Honestly, that's fine. It's been a while since I've given a movie a proper reaming on this channel. So maybe I'll also review The Exorcist too. I started watching that a couple nights ago and I was just like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. Cube. It is a very fun sci-fi horror film from Canada. It is very low budget, but it is very creative for something that was clearly done on a shoestring budget. And I think that any horror fan really should watch it because it really is a cool movie. And especially if you like older movies from like the 70s or 80s, any amount of cheese in Cube isn't going to bother you. Matt, thank you again for recommending this. And again, to my other viewers, you should also check out his channel, the Awesome Lorenzo Bros. I'll try to leave a link at the bottom so you can get to it. And that's all she wrote.